Welcome to War of Words on Full Sail Live. I am your host, Yasmin Cofield. Week 9 of the college football season has just ended, and the Heisman Watch is starting to heat up. Let's dive into the top 5 candidates for this prestigious award. Normally in college football, the Heisman Watch can be more of a quarterback's race. But this year, the top 2 candidates are not quarterbacks. Running back from Boise State, Ashton Jeanty, is number one on that list. And then you have wide receiver slash cornerback from Colorado, Travis Hunter. After that, that's when you dive into the quarterbacks. Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami, Dylan Gabriel, quarterback from Oregon, and Curtis Rook, quarterback from Indiana. The Heisman Watch can be like water, ever flowing with the hype current. But who really has a chance to win this historic trophy? Joining me now on War of Words, I have Sharkia Kelman. And Sharkia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm ready to get into it. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so you know the list of the top 5 candidates in the Heisman.
I
Who
do.
do you think has the best chance of winning?
Honestly, from what I've been seeing, I'm gonna give it to Ashton Jentney. He's a running back from Boise State. He would be the fifth non-quarterback to win since 2000, and I think that's a big deal because the Heisman is very quarterback orientated, and it's nice for them to just switch it up a little bit, and especially 1,248 yards in 7 games with 17 touchdowns. That's Heisman worthy in my eyes, definitely. What are your thoughts?
Definitely. I would agree. That's more of like an NCAA game or like those player type stats that
Right.
he had. So I can't even argue that, but I will throw a wrench in there. And, being from Colorado, I got to go for my Colorado guy. And Travis Hunter, what he's doing, no other player is doing. He's playing on offense and defense. And he's not only playing, but he is a star player on both sides. If he gets injured, this is bad for Colorado, but if he gets injured, his defense suffers, his offense suffers. The team is just not as good. I mean, he's playing over 112 snaps in every game, every Saturday. And it's not like he's getting any time off, right? He's putting up touchdowns, interceptions. It's ridiculous. And the last player to do that did win the Heisman and ended up being a Hall of Famer. So I feel like we might be looking at a Hall of Famer in the making. So why not start off with giving him some trophies early in his college career?
That's a big leap, especially if he's carrying a team like you say he is. That's well deserving of a Heisman as well. I agree with that. Absolutely.
The NBA season has officially started with new teams that have new looks. But nothing is bigger than the biggest city out there, the Big Apple. And guess what? They have an all-star coming in soon. Karl-Anthony Towns shipped in from Minnesota, and Julius Randle shipped out to Minnesota. Some other big names made some moves too. Klay Thompson is no longer a Warrior, as he'll be wearing Mavericks blue. Russell Westbrook, not in LA anymore, as he is a Denver Nugget. A lot of changes have come and a lot to come. We'll discuss the biggest one: Karl-Anthony Towns to the Knicks and Julius Randle to the Timberwolves. Back again with me is Sharkia, and now we're discussing the NBA. Your favorite discussion, I'm sure. Let's talk about the Knicks and the Timberwolves and the enormous trade that went down. You got Julius Randle shipped off to Minnesota, and then you got Karl-Anthony Towns shipped off to the Great Apple. What are you thinking about that?
When I first heard the news, I was kind of like a little flabbergasted. It kind of took me by surprise. I was more surprised when they sent Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo to Minnesota because I think DiVincenzo is one of the key players for the Knicks, and they
Yeah.
had that Villanova thing going on.
Mhm.
And then when I seen the preseason game between them and the Knicks, and DiVincenzo got into it with Jalen Brunson's father, which is one of the coordinators, and I think he was more hurt than anything. And you could like see the hurt in his eyes after the game. Like you could tell they both were hurt. But DiVincenzo was just like, I really don't want to be here. I miss being with my friends. Like we had a good run. But in their defense, I think Julius Randle was a good trade to go to Minnesota. Him and Ant-Man are combined for 65 points against the Sacramento Kings, and that was a close game. They were down by at least about 23 points when I was watching, and I almost gave up on it. Third quarter, Ant and Randall, they teamed up together, 65 points. And I think that's amazing. Cat, on the other hand, I can't say too much because they played Boston opening. Boston got their rings and 23, 29 3-pointers, like almost a record. It was just like, we're not even going to count that. We're not even going to count playing Boston. That doesn't, I don't think that should count. But since then, he's averaging 16 points and not doing much of anything, a rebound and a half. I think he still has to get used to the Knicks and, how they play and Tom Thibodeau and, how the pick and roll goes because he's their big guy now. Because they got
Right.
rid of Hardenstein as well. And he's down in OKC and he's actually looking the same. He was a great player with the Knicks and now he's in OKC. I don't know what the Knicks are doing, but it's a little shaky right now. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Okay. So, I was thinking the kind of the same thing, but as a Nuggets fan, I was like, okay, I'm glad the Twin Towers is broken up. So I'm happy about that for Jokic, happy about that. But at the same time, it's like, all right, they got Randall. It's a little scary. That what like you said, what made me be like, all right, this might be interesting was the DiVincenzo. That kind of was the deciding factor for me to make it feel like maybe the Wolves won that situation
Mhm.
compared to the Knicks. But then also Cat's in the All-Star, like you said, I think it's a little too soon to say he's not going to play well with the Knicks. But from your opinion, who do you think really won the trade?
I'm gonna give it to Minnesota right now, honestly. Just because how far they came last year, they ran through the Phoenix Suns. They
Right.
like ran through them. But Carl Anthony Towns was there at the time, so I'm hoping that Julius Randle and DiVincenzo kind of makes up for that second big that they had who can shoot on the perimeter as well. Yeah, I'll give it to Minnesota. I think they got the upper hand with this one, especially with the healthy Julius Randle, and he looks extremely healthy.
Right. For me, the only situation that makes it a win or lose is like you said, Julius Randle's health. As
Mhm.
long as he's healthy, then Minnesota has won the trade. If it comes down to it, when if he's not healthy in the playoff time, where you could have probably had a healthy cat, then I'm gonna be like, maybe not. But again, this is coming from a Nuggets fan who is still heartbroken over Game 7, so maybe my opinion's a little skewed.
Totally understandable.
All right, Shakia. Well, thank you for taking some time out today to speak and talk about the NBA. I'll see you again sometime soon.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure.
As we wrap up today's War of Words show, it wouldn't be right if we did not mention the 2024 World Series between the LA Dodgers and the New York Yankees. And what a start it's been, with history being made, a Grand Slam walk-off win by the LA Dodgers in Game 1 and then a repeat win in game two. But it's not over till the fat lady sings. The Dodgers will have to do more to get their eighth ring, and the Yankees, well, they'll have to put off an incredible comeback to get their 28th. Thank you for watching Full Sail Live. I am your host, Yasmin Cofield.